Future Talk.
This is Future Talk.
With Omnial Saleh and Hani Balkis.
Good afternoon, everyone, and happy Sunday to all those who are tuning in to us right now. You're listening to Future Talk. This is the one and only place where we give you a quick roundup of everything that is happening in the tech world, in the UAE, and around the world. Lots and lots is in store on today's show because we have big news and big statistics about how much time people living right here in the UAE spend online.
Yes, indeed. We're talking about how UAE residents spend more than 7 hours a day online. That's rookie numbers. Because you know why, Omnia?
Why?
Yesterday, I got the update or I got the notification from Screen Time. You give me a number.
Let me guess, 27 hours, 24 hours, 27. More than what's in a day. 23 hours.
I don't go to sleep.
You know, I have a friend who actually does, her screen time showed up 23 hours a day.
I don't know what this person is doing, but my time went surprisingly to 11 hours yesterday.
Surprisingly? Why are you surprised?
Well, I mean, I was on Clubhouse a lot.
Oh, that's why.
Yes, indeed.
Clubhouse is stealing all of your time online.
And data.
Oh, yes, that's a big one. Today, we're also going to be talking all about Google making headlines because nowadays we've heard about Google officially stopping the use of cookies. Not the yummy cookies that we always talk about, but the third-party cookies that are tracking our information. And if you're worried that Google will potentially find other ways to track its users, well, rest assured that this will not be happening anytime soon.
Yes, and we're also talking about my favorite app, TikTok, and how it's also making it easier for creators to answer their fans' questions. Now, a lot of them do make Q&As, and we always see it coming in kind of as a reply to comment or something of that sort. But now, TikTok is making it easier.
Yes, indeed. Also coming up on the show, if you've always wanted to go into a store and check out on your own without necessarily having to stand in line or wait for a cashier to get your items checked out, well, we're going to be talking about the reality of this that is happening with Amazon all the way in the UK.
Yes, but we're not done talking about apps just yet because Twitter is coming up with an undo send button. I mean, it's about time. Since they come out with that undo send button, I mean, WhatsApp has the delete message, Snapchat has the delete message, Instagram has the unsend message, but Twitter, whatever you typed was there forever. But now, we might see that Twitter is going to kind of get onto that train.
Lots and lots is in store on today's show, so make sure you keep Pulse 95 locked, and we'll be right back.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, and there's a lot of feelings for Sunday.
Daily digital news. Bits and bytes connect our world.
How much time do you spend a day online? Now, before the break, I said that I spend around 11 hours a day, every day of the week online and on my phone. That's just my phone. That's not considering my computer and my laptop. Yeah. But a new statistic does show that UAE residents spend more than 7 hours a day online. Now, before we get into the story, I want you guys to text us in at 4215 or on our Instagram at Pulse95 Radio. How many hours do you spend a day online? And if you do have an iPhone, I don't know if this option is available on Android, but if you do have an iPhone, go to Screen Time and text us in your numbers. And if you do beat me, I will give you a shout out personally on my own Instagram account and on the radio.
I would actually be surprised if someone beats you out because I feel like 11 hours is not that much actually.
You know what?
I'm surprised that it's
how long are you?
I'm still trying to figure it out. Good question.
All right, throw me your phone so I can figure it out.
Okay, so, only? It's 4 hours and 8 minutes.
I think that's just for today.
A day.
That's just for today.
No, but that's a daily average from last week. So, I don't know.
All right.
We'll give Hani to double check. But from my understanding, it's 4 hours a day, which is actually not that bad if I think about it, especially because our whole life has become online. And these statistics are actually starting out from 2020, at a time when the whole world was working from home, studying from home. Our entire life was based online. And that kind of continued even when people were starting to go back to their physical work jobs. What's wrong?
Why do you spend only 4 hours and 8 minutes a day on your phone?
See, I'm even surprised by that because my laptop is basically never off.
And by the way, you're 54% down from last week.
Oh, wow.
So you haven't been on your phone just generally. So if 54%
That means I've been
down.
studying more
Yeah.
efficiently.
So probably at 8 hours around that mark.
Yes, that's what I last saw.
But what I need to know, Omni, is why do you spend an hour and 15 minutes on WhatsApp? What do you,
What do you mean? How do I not spend that much on WhatsApp?
I have not, like WhatsApp, I'll probably like 10 minutes.
What?
I do not use WhatsApp.
You don't communicate with people on WhatsApp?
I got different means of communication.
My God, it's probably Clubhouse. Let's see how much you spent time on Clubhouse. I think half
Yeah.
of the 11 hours are basically on Clubhouse, but people have also been paying online, and that's one of the biggest increases in time online that a lot of people have seen, as well as their use of the internet. So, according to a new report, statistics show that people actually spend 7.24 hours on the internet every single day. And according to the World Digital Report of 2021, a resident living right here in the UAE tends to spend about 40 hours per week browsing the internet through their smartphone, while on the other hand, they spend 86% of their time playing electronic games.
Yeah, well, my screen time is ridiculous, okay?
Okay.
I'll tell you. So it only gives me per week.
Okay.
So last week when I was at 10 hours and 25 minutes a day, I was on Snapchat for the whole week. So 7 days of
Yeah.
my week. I spent 14 hours on Snapchat,
God.
11 hours on Twitter, 11 hours on Instagram, and 10 hours on Clubhouse. And the least one was 1 hour on WhatsApp, and that's for a whole week.
You know, the thing is, when you think about it, if we were to put all this time that we spend on social media platforms, on our phones in general, into like a new business idea, you could potentially build a business from scratch with all this time that you spend online.
You have 100% great point, Omnia, because we use our phones a lot and it is time consuming. But I just do believe it's how you optimize your time on your
True.
phone. Like sometimes I'll just be watching a YouTube video. You're probably like, Hannah, are you watching funny I'm not watching funny YouTube videos. I'm watching
Yeah.
probably documentaries. I'm expanding my knowledge. On Clubhouse, I talk with people who have the same mindset as me. I mean, with the phone now, it is a form of entertainment, yes, but
a
I do believe
communication as well.
that it has a mean to actually educate you and expand your knowledge.
And it's interesting that you mentioned this because the report also showed that Google actually ranked first in terms of the number of visitors on the number one website that people actually spent the majority of their time online with. They had a total of 244 million visits, which is to be expected. Whatever you think about, you simply go ahead and Google it. But YouTube is also one of the most used social media platforms. People were using it at a percentage of 87.4. So out of Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and WhatsApp, YouTube won.
I'm not surprised. I do believe, especially during the pandemic, those numbers did skyrocket
Yeah.
because of obviously the pandemic and everyone was home. But again, YouTube is becoming that TV for
Yes.
everyone. I mean, most of the time, a lot of people are bored. Back in the day, they're turning on the TV, but now they open YouTube, and I do believe most of it does come from children because they can see their favorite YouTubers. They can watch Baby Shark.
Please don't get this
that
song
has like
in my
7
head.
billion views.
I'm not-
7 billion.
Honey, I'm not surprised. Every kid, if you want to entertain them, open this song for them.
Like Omnia, I remember my friend's son. We saw him on Friday. He's like
Yeah.
a baby, like 1 year old.
Yeah.
And everyone, you know, is oh, kuchi, kuchi. You know, usually they say kuchi, kuchi. They start singing Baby Shark.
Oh.
They just start clapping, as if it's now their language. And the kid goes crazy, like, yeah, Baby Shark.
That's all he cares about, Baby Shark.
I mean, it's becoming the new lullaby.
I'm not surprised, honestly, especially because YouTube during the pandemic
Yes.
was the number one way to keep kids occupied as well.
So Baby Shark, Omnia, 8 billion views on YouTube.
Oh my God. Well, let us know. Our text lines are open 4215. Now you're going to keep this song stuck in my head for hours. 4215, Dur Itasalat, or send into our DMs at Pulse 95 Radio. We want to hear from all of you. What app have you been spending the majority of your time online on? Is it Instagram? Is it YouTube? Is it Twitter? Is it WhatsApp like me? Or is it email apps? What is it?
Of course, you would say email us. Let us know you guys' thoughts. 4215, do it slot. But, ladies and gentlemen, keep your youth.
Daily digital news. Bits and bytes connect our world.
You know, honey, I love cookies. Out of every form of sweets in the world, cookies, I think, are by far my favorite. But the one type of cookies I don't like are third-party cookies. Have you heard of them?
I love the joke on me. I love it. Now, I don't like third-party cookies as well. And for those who don't know what cookies are when we're talking about technological terminology,
Yes.
it's cookies, they track you.
Yes, and they give you personalized ads, and all of the Google ads that pop up on your platform are coming from third-party cookies. But the good news is, last year, Google has decided to end those third-party cookies. And people have been wondering if Google will figure out another way to create online ads and
Cinnabons.
That's a
Brownies.
that's a really bad joke.
Yeah.
That's a really bad joke. Now, if you've been worried about, Google coming up with different ideas to personalize the ads that we get, rest assured that Google is not planning, at least up until now, to enable or build any alternative tools to track web browsing traffic, especially because it has decided to strengthen its security on its Chrome browsers.
Yes, now Google first announced it would get rid of third-party cookies, which for decades has enabled online ads just early last year to meet the growing data privacy standards in Europe and the United States. Now, privacy activists for years have criticized tech companies, including Google, for using cookies to gather web browsing records across websites they don't own, which does enable them to develop profiles on users' interests and even actually give them personalized ads. But now Google is pledging it will not use other technology to replace the cookies, so there's no more brownies or Cinnabons, or it will build features inside of Google Chrome to allow itself to access that data, although it does continue to test ways for businesses to target ads to larger groups of anonymous users with a common interest together.
Yes, indeed. Now, keeping the internet open and accessible for everyone is a big job, and it does require internet providers to keep the privacy of their users intact and safe. And that means not only ending third-party cookies, but also any technology that is currently being used to track individual people as they browse into or on the web. We've seen Apple actually tighten up its privacy regulations as well and require different app developers to go ahead and basically adjust their apps if they'd like to stay a part of the well-known App Store, especially when it comes to tracking users without them knowing. Now, as of right now, rival advertising tech companies are currently building tools to identify users across the web anonymously, and many companies have actually been seeing their shares drop back in January of 2020, immediately after Google first announced that it would eliminate those cookies. However, it has slowly risen up over the past year.
Yes, indeed. Now, I do believe it's a very good actually initiative by Google
Yes.
to kind of give them that security and safety. But at the same time, I do believe they're saving their tail before Europe kind of goes on to them even more, because we do know that even Apple was kind of going against Facebook.
Yeah.
So Apple was trying to be like the knight in shining armor. Like, hey, listen, I know I used to do a lot of things, but now I'm not doing those things anymore. But hey, Facebook, you got to stop that.
Yes.
So Facebook and Apple are going at it, and I do believe that at one point in time, Apple would have probably went for Google as well and point the fingers to Google. But let us know your guys' thoughts. 4215, do it slot or on our Instagram at Pulse95 Radio. We're going to take a short break, but when we come back, we're talking all about TikTok.
Yes.
I love TikTok.
TikTok and different creators.
Pulse 95.
Apps all around.
What's worth a click and download?
What's worth a click and download? And I do believe that 99.9% of the population right here in the UAE has TikTok downloaded. And as someone who is the ambassador of TikTok, as someone who is the most
Come
famous person
on.
on TikTok
Most
in
famous.
the UAE,
Wow.
which is me with my 57 followers, I'll be telling you how they're going to make it easier for creators like me to answer questions and
He
answers.
lived the role of being a TikToker. Well, Mr. TikTok creator, TikTok has officially launched
I'm the
TikTok creator, and that's even debatable. Well, they officially launched a new Q&A feature that is helping all creators answer questions from their fans. We've definitely seen different social media platforms having an easier format of allowing this communication between creators and their fans. But now TikTok is joining that and hopping on that bandwagon. They're also available and allowing this feature on both pre-recorded as well as live videos, and it works by basically having viewers mark their comment as a question. So as a creator, you can then either answer the question through a text comment or even create a video reply if you want to elaborate on that question a bit more.
Yes, and in live videos, presenters can select questions from a dedicated menu and then choose to highlight them during their live responses. Now, in video replies, Q&A comments can be added as stickers, which will link back to the video where the question was originally asked. Now, a new section in a creator's profile does aggregate all of their Q&A info into one place, as well as serving as another place for viewers to ask the questions. Now, TikTok does say this feature is available for creator accounts, which obviously I have. Now, anyone can switch to via the manage account option in settings and turn on Q&A. So go to your settings and privacy page, select creator, then tap on Q&A and hit the turn on Q&A button to activate the feature. It's as simple as that. But the Q&A feature was being tested earlier this year as an opt-in feature to creator accounts with over 10,000 followers.
Yes, indeed. Now it is available worldwide to anyone who wants to go ahead and opt in to it. So if you've been wondering about some of the questions that you have had for your TikTok creators and you have had no way of asking them or receiving an answer for them, TikTok is now allowing you to do just that. And it's very interesting to see how the Q&A options actually pop up on the screen. So it's very similar to Instagram's Q&A option that appears in live videos. You know how they pop up from underneath the screen? This is very similar.
I don't like going live on IG.
You don't like it? I enjoy watching IG live sometimes if they're not too long and too boring.
I feel like it's kind of weird, you know?
Why?
Because they're like, hey guys, and they're like, hey, you know. I think one time, the first time I ever opened my IG live, I had like I think 300 viewers.
Okay.
I was scared.
Why were you scared? Because they're watching.
Watched.
Yeah, they're watching, but you can't.
Yeah, and
you
it's
don't know
like,
what's going
hey
on.
guys, I'm just like right here. And they're like, so you guys have any questions?
But I personally think they're so much fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if a lot of people want to ask you questions, it's super fun. Now, I like what TikTok is doing, but I'm waiting for Snapchat to implement this feature as well. Snapchat, a lot of big people have used Snapchat, but I don't think Snapchat is utilizing their platform. I mean, there's no live, there's no question and answer.
Yeah.
Yes, they are trying to go with it, adding links, embedding a lot of things. But I think at the same time, Snapchat has a long way to go.
Well, let us know, who are you planning to go ahead and ask questions to?
Me.
As a part of your favorite TikTok creators? Hani is very insistent that it's him.
I'm going to open my TikTok right now.
Let us know who are some of your favorite TikTokers, and if you're going to go ahead and try out this feature yourself, our text lines are open. 4215 do it to Salat or slide into our DMs at Pulse 95 Radio.
Yes, don't forget to go follow at Hani Talks, Hani_Talks on TikTok.
I thought it was going to be at Hani_AB.
No, Hani_Talks, because obviously I do talk, and I got a whopping 64 followers on me, not 57. I just opened it and I just got like 10 followers. So
added followers.
Yeah, and I think my most video is 1.6k views. So watch out, ladies and gentlemen. But we're taking a short break, and when we come back, we got a lot in store for you guys.
Check this out. Check this out.
Pulse 95.
Just walk out, Omnia. Leave.
Leave?
Leave. You don't have to pay for it, the Omnia, anymore.
The grocery store.
Yes. Just
Okay.
leave the grocery store,
Okay.
because we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen, how you can just walk out in a shop in London. But it's not any type of shop. It's an Amazon just walk-in shop in London, and it's including an accidental free coffee.
But hold on. You can't necessarily leave without paying because you've got cameras watching. Humans may not be there to see whether or not you've paid, but those AI cameras have definitely been watching you and seeing exactly what have you been doing before you leave that store. Now, we're used to Amazon, what are they called? The walk-in
Shopping
stores?
carts. Yeah, okay.
Or the walk-in stores being the reality in the US. But for the very first time, and Amazon did open a free grocery, it's not a free grocery stop, but a walk-in
There's free coffee.
free coffee window. Yeah, so there's a little bit of free
I'm
in
really
the UK.
hungry today.
You're really I can tell.
Because you're talking about cookies, you're talking about grocery shopping. I mean, did I do anything to you?
You didn't do anything.
You know me, I'm a person that doesn't eat. I fast every day. It's called an intermittent fasting. But I mean, imagine for me to break my intermittent fast in an Amazon shop like this. But it is a 2,500 square foot Amazon Fresh shop in Ealing, West London, and it will use cameras and sensors, just like Omnia said, to track customers as they shop, charging their credit card for items they've taken after they exit. Now, customers are queued outside a black and green storefront under social distancing measures to be first to use the convenience store. Now, the outlet, which is, according to Amazon, the first convenience grocery store to offer just walking out shopping in the UK, and its first physical shop and grocery store outside of the US.
Yes, indeed. If you're wondering about how this new outlet is used, well, all you have to do as a customer is to download the Amazon application. After you do that, you'll go ahead and scan the QR code of every product before the electronic gate that is found at the entrance of the shop goes ahead and swing open and allows you to browse a range of Amazon brand products. On the opening day, a lot of assistants were, spread around and scattered around the different shop, trying to make sure that all of the people and the customers visiting knew exactly what they should be doing. And once you've bagged your items, the customer won't have to show a card or let anyone know that they've paid, because AI and cameras are watching. So all they'll have to do is simply walk outside the store, which, to be honest, I personally feel like it would be weird. I'd feel like a thief. Even if I had checked out and paid, I feel like I'm doing something wrong because I didn't pass by a human being cashier.
Yeah, I mean, it would kind of feel pretty weird. And I believe that people start to go to normal stores, they might start walking out by accident. But a sales manager who actually lives in the area did stop to buy ingredients for a cake. And he actually said the speed of shopping at the Amazon store made it actually appealing. Now, we're seeing a lot of feedback from people and shoppers in the area saying that store was probably the best shopping experience of their life. Now, despite the ease of their shopping experience, people say that they're somewhat troubled about what the arrival of Amazon Shop would mean in the long term. Now, one person did say that they're a bit worried that it's going to put other businesses that they use out of business. So yes, they are a little bit concerned because they are such a giant. And we do know that when Amazon gets their hands on something, they perfect it. Now, Amazon's unmanned shops do represent Amazon's biggest effort to reshape physical retailing and has offered its license, the Just Walk Out technology system, to other companies.
Honey, I think one of the biggest advantages of using such a store is the fact that a lot of the times you'd go grocery shopping, you'd go in, and in your mind, you just need to pick up one or two items. But the queue at the cashier, I mean, it could potentially take you about 20 minutes just to be able to check out those two items.
And then you got the old lady say, come.
Yes.
So you're holding
trying to be polite.
Yeah, like a water and a banana. Like, come.
You can come in front of me. And then by the time you leave the grocery store, surprise, you've spent at least 30 minutes to pick up an item or two. With this technology, you don't have to worry about long queues at the grocery store, especially if such a technology was implemented right here in the UAE. Ramadan is coming up, and we all know that during Ramadan, people shop as if they're going to go hungry for months.
Yes, because obviously you're hungry when you're shopping and you're going grocery shopping. And I remember I used to buy a lot of things, and come iftar time,
you don't feel
I was
like
a
eating
sambusa, and I'm like, alhamdulillah, I'm like, I'm done. But let's know your guys' thoughts. 4215, do it or on Instagram at Pulse 95 Radio. Would you like a Just Walk Out type of store implemented right here in the UAE? If so, why? But ladies and gentlemen, my favorite song, Papote.
Pulse 95.
Apps all around.
What's worth a click and download?
We asked for it, but we did not get it. That is the reality of the newest button that Twitter has been releasing. It's kind of like how can we say it? It's like it's okay, I couldn't give you what you wanted, but here's something else that may replace it.
I think what everyone wanted, Omnia, or
delete tweet button.
We have a delete tweet button.
No, I mean, what was it that they wanted?
They wanted an edit tweet button.
Edit tweet, sorry.
Which
sorry.
doesn't work.
Yeah.
If a lot of people who don't use Twitter wanted an edit tweet, but the people who actually use Twitter, they said, no, we don't want an edit tweet button because it can cause so much trauma and problems.
Exactly.
Drama, not trauma.
And Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey also believes the same, which is exactly why there's a lot of rumors that we may just be getting an undo send button on Twitter.
Yes, especially when it does come to messaging, direct messaging on Twitter. Now, we do see that almost every social media platform or instant messaging platform does have an option to delete tweets, delete messages, or unsend messages, except our main man, Twitter. We don't got any options. And I think a lot of people are now even wanting voice notes in their DMs as well.
Yes.
But obviously, I don't know what Jack Dorsey's kind of, he's holding on to what. I don't know why. But now, as millions of Twitter users do demand an edit button to correct spelling errors on their tweets, now we are looking at a new undo send button that is in the works. Now, the Twitter interface does show familiar your tweet was sent dialogue above a new undo button. So if you tweeted something, I think it'll be kind of like you have like a, let's say, 2-second window where you can undo it.
And that's my question. Is it going to be like WhatsApp or will it be like Instagram? So with WhatsApp, when you delete a message, both parties, the sender and the receiver, can see that you've deleted a message. But with Instagram, if you unsend a message, no one knows that you...
I always catch them though.
How? How would you catch it?
I just winked to Omni on air just so you guys don't... a man never tells his secrets.
Oh God! Unless you're constantly on the DM session on Instagram, I don't think people would know.
Yeah, well, I have an own trick. I'll tell you about it later, Omni, but I'm not going to tell the general public just because this is my trick. But the undo button doubles as a progress bar, which will appear to show you how long you have to undo a tweet before it gets sent. Now, last year, reports did surface that Twitter has started working towards its paid subscription service that will provide users options like undo send button along with an ability to tweet longer and high-quality videos. A lot of people also complain about Twitter compressing their videos and pictures and the quality not coming out okay.
Yes, indeed. Now, the undo send button will be providing a 30-second window for every tweet out there, every user to go ahead and either recall their tweet or withdraw it with typos and other errors before anyone can go ahead and see it. This will, however, be only an alternative to the edit button users have been demanding for years. So there is no hope as far as of today that anyone is going to be getting the edit tweet button, but
I hope that we never get the edit tweet button. You say something, mean it.
True. I agree with you on that one, especially because people will start using it in a very
like spread
harmful
misinformation.
way. Yeah.
I mean, we do know that Twitter is very big on stopping the spread of misinformation. So I could say, hey, I love candy, and that gets like 40,000 retweets, and then I say, hey, listen, the sky is green today, right? It just doesn't work. It's misinformation. So, unfortunately, Omni and I actually had this conversation before. People on Twitter believe something from its retweets and likes.
Yeah, and it's very sad to see how any opinion could basically become a fact if it gains a lot of retweets, a lot of likes, and it gives power sometimes in the wrong hands. So let us know your thoughts. What do you think about this brand new, not edit button, but undo send button on Twitter? Is it something that you've always been wanting and you're happily celebrating that it could soon become an option? It has not yet been released. However, rumor has it that it will soon be available for everyone around the world and right here in the UAE.
Forget the undo button. I want voice notes in the DMs. I'm tired of typing. You know, sometimes what I'll do? I use that speech to text option.
Oh my God, are you?
Like sometimes I don't want to.
level of laziness.
It's not laziness. Just like sometimes I don't feel like typing.
I love the voice note option on WhatsApp. If you know me, you know that sometimes I would not be bothered to write down text.
Yeah, and then there's like a little delay in the beginning. So you'll say, Omni, say, hey, how are you 4 times? Hey, how are you? Hey, how are you?
Hey, hope you're doing well.
Yeah. So let's know your guys' thoughts. 4215 do it slot or on Instagram at Pulse95 Radio. But this does conclude Future Talk for today. But we're going to be here same time, same place, only here on Pulse 95. So I guess you guys can say that you guys are a prisoner to Pulse 95.
If you liked this episode of Future Talk, drop a like and subscribe.
Pulse 95.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram for all our daily updates and top stories.